Okay, good afternoon and welcome to this week's episode of Feedback Friday with me, Shamim Hussein. Today we're joined by the Department of Commerce, Tourism and Cooperatives Chief Officer, Dr. Anaya, to discuss and give us feedback on issues raised from the department and also to give us some of the projections of this financial year and what they were able to achieve in the last one. Karibu, Dr. Anaya. Welcome to this week's episode. It's a pleasure to have you. How have you been?
Thank you, Shamim. I've been okay. How about you?
I've been well as well. Okay. So just as we start, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your role as Chief Officer? What does a Chief Officer in the Department of Commerce, Tourism and Cooperatives do at the county?
Thank you, Shamim. As you have rightly put, my name is Dr. Naya Senelwa, Chief Officer in the Department of Commerce, Tourism and Cooperatives. This is a role I took up on 19th of July 2023. So I've been in office slightly 2 years. And as I took up the role of a Chief Officer, it's a defining moment in executive management of a county government. A Chief Officer has 3 to 4 main roles. Number one, he's supposed to assist in implementation of the functions of schedule number 4 part 2 of the county of the constitution, which is giving the function of the county government, and to be specific in the area of trade development. Number 2, a chief officer is the administrative officer of the department. He oversees the day-to-day running of the department, the human resource, the finances, and any other resources that are there. Mm-hmm. And that's why from there you are told a chief officer comes as an accounting and authorized officer. As I rightly indicated there, you're in charge of the finances, the budgeting, and the utilization of the same. You need to know the number of staff that are there, what they are doing, and meeting their work plans as required by that. But above all, you are supposed to assist the CCM in the department, to assist the governor in achieving his manifesto, and by and large, the mandate of the county government.
Okay. And now that you've mentioned that the chief officer is the accounting officer in the department, can you tell us what are some of the priorities of the department in this financial year? Because we're now in Q2 of 2025-26. What are some of the priorities that the Department of Commerce has for this year?
The priorities we have for the department are largely guided by our the CIDP, that was our second edition, 2023-2027, and equally our strategic plan that we in place, 2024-2028. And this one is segmented into the various sectors. So we have key priorities in one of the sector, which is commerce, that has 4 sections. And under that, we have key among them is development of market infrastructure. Here we are talking about putting up toilets, lighting up the markets, and ensuring that there is infrastructure in terms of roads. Then in the same breath, under that directorate or under that sector, we have a key one called industry and investment. Mm-hmm. And there equally we are putting time and resources to be able to complete our county aggregation industrial park, which is carrying a huge budget and flagship in the department and the county. Then within that particular sector equally we have a very important one, and this one is on weights and measures. And under these, we are ensuring that we have fair trade practices across the county. Those who are engaged in small holding businesses, they're able to get the value for the money. And then we have a second priority is in under cooperatives. Mm-hmm. For a long time, we've known that cooperative movement is the one that has driven our economic stay. And under our key priorities, it is to support the registration of cooperatives, mobilization of members, and more importantly, ensuring that they have resources to be able to support the various economic activities, which we know in this county largely is in agriculture, and also supporting our value chains within that particular Kent. But before I forget also, we have a sector in tourism. because where we are as a county, we are lucky to have various advantages of one, our climate, number two, our natural resources, and three, key attraction sites. So we want to package our tourist products and be able to market them so that we can attract local and even foreign tourists.
Okay. And you mentioned investment. Is the department, will we have an investment conference, our own investment conference within this financial year? Because we tend to see a lot of other counties also embracing this. So will we be able to have that in Vihiga County as well?
Yes, we were supposed to have it in the second quarter for the period ending December. But now we are putting quarter three, the period beginning January to March, within that time, to be precise, in February. The reason of delay was before we do an investment conference, we should be able to put in place clear policy and legal framework that can guide us on that. And the first thing was to ensure that we operationalize our strategic plan for the department. We have an investment policy which need to be adopted and guide who are going to be investors. And finally, we need to have an investment guide so that it can be a one-stop shop for anyone who wants to invest and know area sectors. And because we are the department that coordinates investments, it was supposed to also reach out to all other departments. Remember, we are 10 departments, so each one of them, they have to have a stake in our investment conference because they have, each one of them have what to give in this particular forum. And therefore, we delay, but we promise as a department and under the leadership of our Excellency Governor, we promise to do it. We've been able to pick lessons from our neighbors. We picked lessons from our far neighbors, and put together, we are able to have a better and a bigger investment conference. But even as we do that, we won't end the calendar year without having a significant event. It's good to allow me to mention we'll have a second edition of Vihiga County Business Awards, where we are going to honor excellence and also nurture enterprise development. So with that also, it's going to be a good barometer for us for investment conference because of the sectors that we have, we'll be able to bring on the limelight the various traders and their SMEs. And through that, we'll start to package that information for the forthcoming investment conference. So this one is coming in November, to be precise, on 21st, and it will be held at Kaimosi University in Kaimosi.
Okay, so that's a few weeks from now we'll have the conference at Kaimosi, and in February we'll have the investment conference.
Correct. Actually, it's in 2 weeks' time.
Yes, in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
And who's invited to this, the November conference? Who are we inviting to come and attend this?
Of course, the main invitee are our traders, SMEs, and that's why we are honoring them for their excellence, for the brick and mortar they do every day. But we're inviting the entire business community in the county and even neighbors. We're inviting private and public entities. We are inviting also international organizations so that they can come to do it. But more importantly is our citizens, the public, the residents of Vihiga. They need to know what is happening with each and every sector or department in the county. So all are invited. Okay. More than 600 people who are here, we're invited to converge in Kaimosi. Okay, so in 21st November, let's all meet at Kaimosi for the awards. Correct, Shaman. Oh.
And now speaking of our traders, one of the key issues that is usually raised is on business licenses and the prices for that. So how does your department support the business people and traders, and also when it comes to giving information on this? Because sometimes you see people complaining that they have to pay for the different licenses that they're supposed to pay. How does your department navigate that?
That's a very important question, Shamim, knowing that one of the main agenda and concern of our excellency is to ensure that we increase our own source revenue. As a department, remember last financial year we had a target of 104 million, and we managed to do a 98% to get a 102 million. This financial year we've been given a target of 124 million. And within that, we have 11 revenue streams. In that revenue streams, one of the key revenue streams is single business permit and single business registration. Here is where we meet, or rather the money collected there is mainly from licenses. And what happens is that we meet these traders on a day-to-day basis. And we've been able to pick their concerns and the issues around there. And as you've rightly put, that they've complained, one, that the licenses are exorbitantly high. Others are saying that they get multiple licenses. But as you know, most of these engagements are guided by law. One, we have the Finance Act that guides it, and the Vehicle Trading License Act that does that. And within that, it gives us a legal framework and how we need to collect these licenses and how we need to collect them and who need to collect them. I agree with them that the complaints are there because you'll find the single business permit that we have, it ranges. The least amount is around 3,500 for those who have one trader, a small kiosk or shop, but the highest goes up to 100,000 for those who have businesses like banks and related businesses. And we've been able to engage through their lobby group, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, to ensure that one, we let these licenses be done in a manner. One, we have not been able to, as much as there is an increase from one year to the other, look at Finance Act 2024 to 2025, we've done very minimal increases on them. Number two, I remember the licenses are charged in calendar year, 1st of January to 31st of December. But we always give them a grace period up to the end of the first quarter, 31st of March, to be able to to cover that. But number three, most of the time, because we work with the departments in the Directorate of Revenue, we have continuous engagement and collaboration around there. We don't necessarily harass them. We don't necessarily put punitive measures. We negotiate to give them timelines and even notices. We can give them one notice, we give the second one and a reminder. So they have sufficient time. But as that being said, we'd want to urge them and tell them that, yes, for us to develop and grow as a county, we require these taxes as money. Why? Because it contributes to their shareable income as a county. For us to put up the infrastructure needed to provide the services for our citizenry, we require these taxes to be collected. We'll do them in a humane manner, in a manner that will respect the law, and to ensure that nobody is going to suffer because of that process.
Okay. And now, speaking of licenses and businesses, these are often done within our markets as well. And one of the issues that have been raised, and you were also able to see that, is that people tend to do business not within the market space. And over the last couple of months, and just recently, we had the groundbreaking of several markets, Mbale, Majengo, and Banja. And Luanda market is also being put up, and there's Emusire as well. And so, what are the timelines for these particular markets? Because when a market is being built, the people who need to sell are moved out of the market, and it takes time for a market to be brought up into the standard it's supposed to be. So do you have the timelines for when these markets are expected to be complete? And now we've seen now like Mbale, Majengo, they are now just starting up as well. What are the timelines that we usually give for that, so that the traders are also able to work within realistic timelines? And because people tend to lose a lot of business when you don't have a place to go that you used to go.
Yeah, thank you, Shamim, for that concern. First is to maybe put the fact clear that one, when we are putting up these markets, it's a collaborative effort between the national government and the State Department of Housing and Urban Development and the county. And these efforts are meant to improve their market infrastructure for all our traders. Of course, it goes without saying, for them to get something better, they need to have a sacrifice. They'll have an inconvenience for a few months, but they'll enjoy the benefit many years to come. We remember very well the one for Luanda. We have 7 other markets coming, and you'll find that they're spread in all these sub-counties. As you roughly put, Luanda began sometimes in 2024 and January 2024. We have had, not 2024, but 2025 rather, we've had delays that have come in it, owing to maybe just issue of getting a space to relocate the traders, but the right on course, I was there, it is almost a 40% done. When these contractors are given the contract, you'll note that from the contractual agreements, it's supposed to be between 9 months to 12 months. If it stretches up to, say, 18 months, so 1.5 years. And if the contractor keeps to the schedule given, they need to complete and hand over. But we always communicate to the traders that there may be extraneous circumstances that may make the contractor not to finish the contract. And a good case in point is our county aggregation industrial park that is in Luanda, which began sometimes in 2023 October. It was supposed to be for 9 months, but it has delayed of exigent circumstances that has affected the trader. So we want to commit to our traders that based on these 8 markets that you've mentioned, we've talked about Mbale, not Mbale rather, we've talked about Luanda, Esirulo, and Esibwe, and the new ones that you've mentioned from all the way to Chavakali, the one that I've done site handover in Mbale, Majengo, and Banja. The standard period is 12 months. So we are talking about next year such a time, because we did it within this month, they need to be done. And when they are done, they have been given the site designs and how many stalls and occupants are going to have, and what is it going to have. So for this reason, I will encourage them to give time to the contractor. We have a good schedule and a work plan. We have a constant communication with the State Department of Housing. We are engaging with our Department of Lands here again to ensure the contractor does that. But as they do that, we've tried as much as possible to ensure that they have an alternative place to engage for business. And a case in point in Luanda, we've been able to identify, not conclusively, but we have identified a place where they can do business. We'll do the same for the people of Mbale. We'll give them an alternative place to do that, and all the other markets, so that their daily chores and activities that are not inconvenienced by this, they'll continue doing that as they wait for the completion and handover of the market that is going to have. My clarion call is to maybe the market committees. Will find that this is our entry point to these markets, the market management committees, to allow the contractor to do the job and to support them. Remember, this is a public partnership. It's a collaboration between them. They need to allow them. They need to be able to give them the necessary support. They need to give them the ample space to do that, so that we have that collaborative effort with them. In case there is any delay, they need to also bring it out. They are our key points in those markets. If there's a delay in the work plan, they can easily be able to point out. We sit down, we agree, and we move the construction forward without hitches. Thank you.
Okay. And now, since you've mentioned that the markets are usually collaborated between the national government and the county government, and most of the time it's handed over to a contractor who tends to do a lot of the work. Now, the toilets and the drainage systems of a market, do those fall within a county government scope, or is that also collaborated?
Thank you for that question, Ashim. You'll find that the market infrastructure within the market falls under the jurisdiction of county government. As I indicated when I began, is that if you look at Part 4, Schedule Number 4, Part 2 of the County Government Act, that gives a function to the county government, and specifically for market development, you'll find it single out markets, and within the market there are very many ecosystems there. We have the toilets, we have the lights, we have the roads and others. So we are supposed to give the traders a good environment to work, a good environment to trade, and a secure environment also to do their business. I want to acknowledge that this function, you'll find it falls not only in my department for commerce, tourism, and cooperatives, but you'll find that it falls also in the Department of Water and Sanitation, yes, and by extension to the Department of Transport and Infrastructure, and now the new created entities called municipality. Yes. So we have, His Excellency has created what we call multi-departmental collaborative efforts, where each of these departments, based on the resources they have, both financial and human resource, we are able to come together and address the issues that are come there. Remember, a marketplace may not necessarily be a one department issue, but touches most of us. So if we have a coordination forum for each of these departments to look at the issues, it becomes easier. It has not been easy in the recent past because of the constraints that are there within the budgetary allocation. The many, of course, maintenance of this infrastructure requires a budget line. Whenever we put up a capital investment, like lights, for example, require a monthly maintenance that need to be done. Not forgetting the skyrocketing bills that come together with that. And equally, our traders and our citizens, sometimes they may not take care of these particular facilities in good conditions. So you'll find there's a little bit of vandalism. We need to do constant repairs. And this also brings us back to make sure that it needs to be done. But as has been said, the main investment should be in maintenance. Constant investment in the maintenance of these facilities to ensure that they don't break down, ensure that they don't hinder the delivery of services to the traders and all the citizens that come to visit these markets.
Okay, and now that you've also mentioned municipalities, are we ready to now adequately, manage and ensure the sanitation and proper management of municipalities? Because now we have the Kaimosi and Luanda are being upgraded into municipalities, and that will mean more business. The markets need, hopefully, will be done by then. So are we well equipped to do that? And the multi-departmental collaboration you've mentioned, is that well equipped? Because we have people complaining a lot about, especially when it comes to sanitation for markets. So do you think, or would you say that we are well equipped to now, moving forward as we grow our county, to handle the Kaimosi and Luanda municipalities as well?
Thank you, Hashim. I would say yes and also no at the same time. Yes, because one, the creation of municipalities is under the Urban and Cities Act, which clearly articulates how these municipalities need to be formed, managed at any given point in time. We want to say as a county we've done well. We've had, the one from Vihiga that has come, and we'll have the one for Luanda and Cheptul. They need to be chartered anytime within the year. And when they come, we are happy as a department and as a county because they'll come and supplement, rather they complement our effort that has been there in management of markets. We know with the creation of municipality, it gives them a very clear guided framework for collection of revenue. It gives a clear guided framework on improvement and maintenance of infrastructure. And above all, even collaborations with other entities, which if you look at what created maybe the counties, it becomes a little bit difficult for that. So what we need to do is that with the Act clearly put, and with the goodwill that we have within the county by His Excellency, we are ready for the municipality. You can see the efforts that have been done. There is a clear capacity building and efforts to ensure that they work and run very well. My sister department in the Department of Lands, Housing and Urban Development are doing very well. And we hope with their efforts from the other end and our efforts from this end coming together, then we'll be able to manage our markets and become modern, ultra-modern cities that are envy for the rest. We're looking at big municipalities in the counties, talk about Kisumu, for example, talk about Eldoret, talk about Mombasa, that have done very well. They have been able to elevate the stature and the presence of these particular once quiet and not known trading centers. Okay. Yeah.
And now let's move a bit further from markets. We rarely hear about the hospitality sector in this particular county, and we have a lot of ecotourism happening, but in Vihiga County, very few people know about it. So how is your department supporting, especially for the hospitality sector, the hotels that we have, and the local tourism, to encourage us to not just, invite people from abroad and to come and visit our sites, but also for us locally to be able to visit? And Maragoli Hills is one of the tourist areas that we tend to hear a lot about. So are there other tourism sites in the county, and how is your department supporting them, and especially ensuring that we get to also benefit from within the county local tourists as well?
Rightfully put, Shamim, and observation, I fully agree. But as you will note, that this is not a unique challenge for Vihiga and the county only. For tourism, the anchor word here is promotion, promotion, promotion. For anyone to know, even in general business space, for anyone to know your product, you need to be able to package it very well and market it and promote it constantly so that the message sinks home to your perceived customer. And that's something that you'll find even from the national level Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. They've been able to market Kenya as a tourist destination. And the efforts have yielded so much. We've been able to increase our tourist visitors from the county by in the country by a significant amount. The same need to be mirrored in the county government and my department for that matter. For us to be able to position Vihiga County as a tourist destination, we need to be able to first be able to provide to profile our tourist product. And you've rightly put the first that comes into our mind is Mungova Caves. The Mungoma Caves is widely known for the home of Maragoli, the first Maragoli person. Then we have the Maragoli Hills. Of course, as you know, the main attraction for our county is our topography. Yes. And you'll find in that topography, apart from the hills and valleys we have, which provides good scenic view, we have the forests that come. You mentioned Kaimos, we have Kibiri for that matter. And out of these forests and this topographical scenic attraction, we can now package them well for picnics, we can package them for excursions, and we can package them for clear view. This has not been done. You know very well for this particular matter, to be able to engage and have this one done, we should be able to put together a very good plan for it. Yes. But what have we done as a department? Just that I've rightly put, we cannot do this effort alone as a department. We have collaborative efforts. At the top of it is the lobby group in the county called Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, with which we need to be able to, we have a running active memorandum of understanding with them, signed into place in August 2023. And in them, we need to collaborate in one, profiling and preparing a database of these traders we have, but importantly, assisting us to tap and attract donor support and other collaborations, among them in tourism, so that we are able to use Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, their networks nationally and internationally, to market and to be able to position Vihiga. And in that case, when you collaborate with them, the many misgivings and the limitations we have as a department, they need to be complemented with these lobby groups and other partners. And therefore, this calls for that particular effort. And in guiding that, we set as a department to first put together a tourism policy, which in that case, it has clearly articulated what and how and what should be done in this particular subsector. And in that particular policy, it guides each one of us as a department and collaborative departments what need to be engaged in. We will be seeing these results coming very soon before we have the investment conference. We've put it clearly in our investment profile about that. And now we are looking for ways to market and to be able to promote Vihiga and tourist site. You can say rightly put Marabi and Kaimosi Forest, we cannot miss to have a scenic site. We'll not be able to forget to ensure that we also look at our culture as a Maragoli and other sub-tribes. We can be able to do better as a county if we can also embrace our culture and our heritage. It is a good way to do tourism. It may not necessarily because of the natural and physical features we have, but ourselves, we have uniquely positions to be able to do that. And it can be remembered a clear maybe circumcision for a subtract like maybe Tiriki for that matter. It attracts a lot of likes like maybe Bungoma, for example, for Bukuso people. So that is exactly what we need to do. Then also we encourage our heritage, our foods we eat, which are very unique. It is very easy for us also to package it together. So Shamin, we have a lot to do. Yes. All we need to do is we package ourselves, promote, and be able to now give it out. But in actual sense, we need to look at the clear demography of the people we are targeting. Most of the time in tourism, we need to look at the demographic structures. Maybe it has not reached very well to the young people. So we maybe need to go out to our social media platform where they are found very well to put it up. And in your department of communication, why can't you also be able to put that in your social handles, both on Facebook and YouTube? Try to stream it around and make sure that Vihiga is seen, so that if you are among the many people who are liked, then you'll be at top of the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And yeah, we usually do live streams and sessions like this. So we continue to encourage our audience to watch that. And hopefully we will be able to also go live on the conferences and engage the different audiences on their views on that. And
maybe for that, we have a documentary that talks about Vihiga County. And
yes.
Remember in the previous engagement that we've had, remember the iconic legendary activity we have that is held on 26th of December every year.
Yes.
The cultural festival. It actually is always a meeting point. People have known it, but it has not gone wide and far. If we make a documentary about such, and before then you'll note with the Department of Gender and Culture, we do a 1 week Culture and Tourism Week.
Yes.
That comes before that December. If you do a documentary that can run on your social media handles,
yes,
that mentions and talks about Vihiga, then people can know it. We should not just mention Vihiga when we are reporting about news that are negative, but also just people to know about it.
Okay.
I think there are people around, even within the county, they may not know some of these sites and about us, but if you help to embolden and magnify this voice about us, then we can be known by far.
Okay.
Yeah.
And thank you for that. I think my colleagues will be able to pick that up and just amplify some of the efforts that they've been doing, and to also ensure that Vihiga is known beyond just what we talk about every day.
Correct.
Now that we are mentioning social media, a lot of us are chronically online. We tend to receive our information from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and a lot of this, especially for this particular episode, is being streamed live on Facebook. So what are some, and I also noticed that you have the Kenyan bracelet, which is one of the selling points for Kenya as a brand. So you tend to see, when you go to other countries, people tend to identify Kenyans by the bracelet, and this person comes from Kenya or is somehow associated with that. Is there something, and maybe this is within the discussions in your department when you talk about tourism, is there something that can identify us as the people of Vihiga? The same way that we tend to talk a lot about Kenya and have a bracelet, and maybe this is something we can look at in the future to also see that when I see this, I know this person comes from Vihiga County, and that. So that's also a challenge to you guys, and hopefully we'll be able to come up with that. And back to social media, what are some of the ways that you engage the youth, especially because we see a lot of, I get a lot of the products that I buy on Instagram, or someone sold, posted on their status, and then you tend to see that. So what are some of the ways that you support the youth on the e-commerce space to ensure that we use the digital technologies to amplify our businesses as well?
Yeah, thank you, Shamim. Before even you go to the youth, we need to start within the department. Charity begins at home. We've tried as much as possible as a department to ensure that we have our staff and our officers very much active on using technology and gadgets for that matter. And as you've rightly put, people are doing more scrolling than reading. Most of the time, everybody has their fingers being flapped on their phone, meaning that the gadgets that you have, it carries almost everything that you need. And we need to harness it in terms of e-commerce. We need to harness it in terms of business, and even reach out to the young people. As you know, 60 to 70% of the population is youth, not only in the county, but in the county. We are encouraging our staff first to be tech savvy, so that we do our communications, our sharing of information online. We make sure that they send emails. They need to make sure that they are able to back their data for future. They need to make sure that we are also doing knowledge management around here. And because we deal with the traders, quite a hard nut to crack. If we are all well package to be tech savvy, then we'll be able out there to serve people and do that. How will you do this? What comes into mind is a collaborative effort that we've done again, not only as a department, but together with the Department of Youth. And we've had several programs and initiatives to bring them on board. We are looking at them not only being trained, but given gadgets. We did one successful one of these with Stanbic Bank. And through that, we are able to get our team, get our youth being trained and capacity build through that forum. And not only did we use the youth department, but also education, because a number of them are in learning institutions which are tertiary.
Yes.
So with youth and TVET, for example, we reach out to them. So we encourage them from that point, because with them we know where they are located, for that matter. We as a department, our demographic of traders or business people, they are wide range. But we have a specific segment, age set of people who are youth between 18 to 35 years, which you need to reach out. You've rightly put, the next phase of business and commerce, and as you put it, will be on e-commerce. This is where buying and selling is done, where we can reach numerous people across by touch of a button. We should not be left behind. It takes things slow. Remember, change takes time, but slowly by slowly, we are going to get there. We require to have a constant encouragement of our staff and our youth to do that, and give them the benefits that comes with such, and equally give them the many good things that are impressed with that initiative. On the same note, we are looking at a case when we are having, I'll repeat again, during our award, we need also to be awarding the Innovative Youth Enterprise of the Year. And in this case, I'm thinking of this youth who has used maybe IT and technology to be able to do his business. And with there, they can showcase and say the benefits that I've done, efficiency that has been registered, and improved business processes that need to be done. So when we honor such people, then the message passes. People can be encouraged. There are success stories that they need to be improved on or impressed and have those results. That's exactly what we've done. It is not easy, but we are determined. We are not going to do it alone as a Department of Commerce, Tourism and Cooperatives. We are reaching out to the Department of Youth. We are reaching out to the Department of Education, especially TVET, to ensure this is supposed to be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so are there any particular initiatives that, apart from the collaboration you did with Stanbic, is there any upcoming opportunity for youth, especially on the e-commerce space, that your department is looking to do within this financial year? Apart from also the awards as well.
If you look at this financial year, we once again, when we do our big Business Award Edition 2, we want to launch what we call a business resource center. And this business resource center, together with the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, to be located in one in Chavakali and later on in Luanda. That initiative will give them a one-stop place where they can get information, mostly from digital space. We'll have high-speed internet, connectivity, laptops, and information they can do. And if they're able to access this, immediately, if you look at what the outcome of that award, we need to have that one as a key deliverable. If we have that particular business support center that is equipped with high-speed internet and the gadgets, then we'll have gone a long way to support the traders. But I know in that segment, mostly the youth, they'll be able to do that. Okay. So with the information at their fingertips, then I think we have given the best arsenal for them to take over the world. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. We look forward to having the resource center in Chavakali and Luanda as well.
Look at it. Immediately after that, I think we have reached out to GIZ. GIZ is one of the platinum partners for this particular event.
Yes.
And among our asking in that, it is to ensure that we have this particular business support center running. But equally, as a department, we'll collaborate and complement that. We need to have one in Luanda. It was supposed to be done this financial year, but we pushed it to the next financial year. We'll have a similar one coming up for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we look forward to having that this year as well. And now, what can you tell us about your support for, especially for cooperatives? How does the department support the cooperatives in Vihiga County?
Wow, that's a good question. Most of the time, do you know, when anytime to talk about my department, people start and end on trade and markets, mostly commerce. And I keep on saying little efforts or mention have been made on cooperatives. And I'm happy this space will be able to bring out conversation around cooperative again and again. Do you know, at the national level, we have an independent ministry for SMEs and cooperatives
Yes.
that deals with matters to do with that. So it means, by and large, the discussion around cooperative cannot miss to be mentioned anytime we talk about business. Reason being, it has proven over and again that for us to be able to have a good way to reach out to businesses, it is easy if we reach out to them through a corporate movement. A reason being, they are well coordinated, they are well organized. We know the principles that stands for cooperative. And for that reason, you can easily be able to give them all the business support services, whether it is capacity building, financial support, advisory, even marketing opportunities for their products. So as a department, we are completely in sync with that fact. We are guided by the principles and ideals in cooperative. Remember, cooperatives are managed by the Cooperatives Act 490, Cap 490. And within that, the main mandate that we are running for cooperatives is to ensure that we not only register, we promote, and we capacity build. And if you look at what we need to do, we have done it again and again. We register, we promote, we mobilize, and we equip. And most of the time, even advance loans around there. One key significant thing that has happened in cooperative, not only in my department, of course, the statistics clearly speaks for themselves, because if you look at the numbers that are there, we have in excess of 200. Need to bring back with interest and somebody else borrow.
Yes.
And if this is the basic maxim that operates for these particular funds, it's supposed to be something that needs to support itself and work it out. But that has not been the case. To go on record, we have one we call Viga Trade Enterprise Fund, which was coming to place in 2018. We were able to give it money for 2 consecutive years in the financial year 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, to the tune of almost above 60 million.
Yes.
And these loans were given to traders and individuals, but we have not been able to collect. Out of the almost 60 million, we have only collected 8. We have a balance of around 52, which have not. It has made it very hard to make it a revolving fund. All the efforts to be able to recover this money has been quite difficult, but we are not giving up. We want to see how we can remodel it, fashion it so that it can be very profitable and be able to not only put money, but money is paid back and it assists other people. There's one also in cooperative, we call it Viga County Cooperative Development Fund. I would say it's the act creating it has been enacted, the legislations are there. The board to operationalize it is just need to be in place, and we put money to go and start. But as I keep on mentioning it, that while we are putting those structures in place, we equally have ways and means we support our traders. Once again, through the Kenya Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we have support from donor organizations like maybe MasterCard. They have been able to do that, give small loans to to traders. We have had one for Green Fund, among others. So we see within that particular sphere, whatever we do and maybe means to do, we'll find the Kenya Chamber of Commerce coming in and bring it. And I can say in the year under review, more than 200 traders were capacity built and given loans of various amounts so that they can improve their business. But even as you do that, at the national level, you can know very well we have a Nyota program that is coming. And now we are a little bit biased. We have gone to the youth segment of the population. They're giving a seed capital of around 50,000. And I will encourage all the youth within our wards to be able to impress for you to just pick it and not use it. Whereas it's a grant, they need to use it. There is goodwill, there is more efforts that are done at the county level and national level to ensure that we... Okay. So
I think now people will be able to get more information from that particular event. And just as one of the, as we conclude this session today, another thing that we tend to talk a lot is the trade within Vihiga County. So what is your department, and particularly when we talk about some of the products that we tend to see people complaining about their export and import. So we tend to have something like avocado. We produce it here locally. So how do you support such farmers and such business persons when they want to, take their business out of the county, out of the country, to be able to, also earn more than what they would earn within the boundaries of our county?
Do you know, Hashim, one of our key mandates as a department is market development for our product, for our business. And this one cuts across for any business and even a corporate level, for it to remain and report profits. Talk about EABL, talk about Safaricom. They invest hugely in product development and market development. So we are not unique. We need to, as a department, whereas we cannot do it individually, we need to make sure that we support and promote activities and initiatives to promote the products are done. But before then, the very beginning of it is production. Before you can market, you must produce. Do we have what we need to market? So the first thing is we need to go back and tell our people. As I indicated, by and large, our economic mainstay for our county is purely agrarian. 70% of the many economic activities that are done here, it is agriculture. And therefore, we are simply telling our people here, they need to go back to agriculture. They need to produce. How they need to produce? They need to produce alongside the value chains that we have. And the value chains, I think it's that in public domain, you rightly put, We have at the top there bananas, we have avocados, we have African leafy vegetables, we have dairy, and manga chicken. And when we produce, then you can encourage me to market, because in international space, we talk about volumes. How big are you going to? I can get an order through Chamber of Commerce to supply maybe in Turkey or Singapore almost 100 tons of eggs. Are I able to sustain that particular supply or request? I may not be able to do that. So before we market, we need to produce. And produce not only in volumes but in quality. We need to have quality productions, because if they need to go to very highly regulated markets like European Union, there are standards that need to be met for you to maybe sell, say, avocados in that particular market, for this case. And that's why I can't end this interview without also making special mention to the Department of Agriculture. We as a department in trade, we cannot talk about only traders if you don't have a product. We don't produce. The production is done in agriculture. So we need to encourage our farmers in agriculture to produce in numbers and also in quality of this. Then I can be able to aggregate. I've mentioned about the county aggregation industrial park. I can aggregate through the very small holders of farmers and have a good volume now you can be able to sell. I can tell you for free, so long as you have a good product, there's always a seller the other side we need to buy. I don't believe in the entrepreneurship world you can have a product that is well marketed that will miss somebody to buy. So create the value in the product and somebody will have to pick it. So once again, a special mention to the Department of Agriculture. We need to work closely together. Let's encourage all our farmers in the county to produce all the crops in value chains. Let them be in numbers. They should not be afraid of the markets, whether local or international. How this needs to be done, we have a big aggregation that is coming up, and that is the purpose. Well and strategically located, it will enable us not only to consolidate, but to be able to package, to be able to preserve, and be able to market. Remember, it is close to the railway line. It will be served, God willing, maybe by a standard railway gauge. It will be served by a superhighway. And therefore, going to Busia in Uganda, going to Congo, and even flying out, we are near to the Kenya, more international airport in Kisumu. We can't miss to transport and take it beyond our boundaries.
Okay. And are there any efforts in place to, educate the residents on what qualifies as a good product? Because you've mentioned, especially for the EU region and other regions, when you're trying to export, they have certain standards that need to be met. Are there any measures in place to ensure that now the people who are doing in agriculture, the people who are doing the production of the goods, know what makes up, what standards they're supposed to be met and what needs to be done to ensure that they're able to benefit from these markets outside Kenya as well?
Wow, yes. A very, very, very big efforts are done. And, over and above our 5 value chains that I've mentioned, another one that has come on table is coffee. Because remember, that is the black gold that is coming. And we encourage our farmers across the county to be able to plant coffee, because you can see the prices that are being fetched, both at the auction and otherwise, are very high. And as I've mentioned, coffee and among others, the many extension services that are done by our sister departments in agriculture, I've mentioned they will take through the farmers on how to produce, on what to produce, and when to produce it. And in those conversation and extension services around there, it is clearly defining and explaining to them the quality of the products that are there. If you want to attract, not even in local, international market, even local markets, if you want to bring your item from a subsistence use to a commercial use, it must be well, the soils that you planted it, the right pH, the fertilizers you apply, how long it was done, and if it was not embracing or using child labor, among other things, it's supposed to be done. This is what it needs to be done. The discussions, the conversation, it is taking long and slow, but we know when the benefits come, the message will have come home. And once again, I will encourage your team to also amplify this to our farmers and our traders out there. We are ready to support them to markets. We are ready to bring the people to buy. We are ready to encourage them to do what is expected to make sure this is the case. But are they willing to embrace the change, to take the challenge upon them, to ensure that they are being guided and the information given, they're embracing it? And by and large, learning from others. We do a lot of field visits and county to county visits to see what other farmers are doing. Sometimes it is easy to see than to do. So when we take to them in these farmer visits across the other counties, Nandi, Kiambu, and all the way, they are able to appreciate what efforts are being done by them, what they need to do, and what they need to improve on to do that. And I think if you look at the records that have been done, the programs that we've done together with the Department of Agriculture and CDP has done a lot of field visits. They've done a lot of benchmarking, and I think we are getting there. Let's work first with the volumes, then we'll work with the quality. Sometimes we work first with the numbers, then we can see what quality is it, then we'll be good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And yes, we take up the challenge and we'll be able to continue amplifying and raising citizen concerns, amplifying the efforts that are being done by the different departments to ensure that people are aware. And especially in this episode, since you've mentioned a lot of the conferences that are coming up, I will be able to ensure that people are aware of this particular activities and benefit from them as well. And as we conclude, do you have any final remarks or any final messages to our residents, especially businessmen, business people, traders, youth, cooperatives who are seeking, and people within the tourism and hospitality space who benefit most, especially from your department?
Yes, Shamim. My message as we end this interview is to the youth of this county. And we know that they have a very special place in ensuring that we not only achieve our goals as a county, but also to be able to grow and develop. And what do I need to tell them about it? It's for us to come out and embrace the challenge, be able to look at the presented opportunities as one that need to give us what it means to be able to be a people who are economically empowered. I know these conversations around them having all manner of challenges because anytime they want to embrace an initiative, they'll give a limitation. And the limitation that they'll give, it is finances, or they give a limitation of the know how to do it. But I want to challenge them that so long as you have a good idea, there is somebody who will be able to support it, either by just listening or by guiding or counseling. I know that for you to reach that level, you need to be well mentored and you need to go through apprenticeship. And we people who have gone through this space in business and academia, we are ready to mentor them, we are ready to guide them, we are able to counsel and even give them way forward. I'll tell them that for us to be able to make it, we accept that success has a cost, and the cost is to ensure that we keep to doing what is right, embracing the challenges that come every day, and make it happen. To my business community, we are there to support them. We will ensure that we provide and give the best business environment. We've heard about their issues and concerns. We've been able to handle some of them. The rest, we are working with the national government to ensure they are done. We'll be able to support them to do business in a good and conducive environment. They'll be able to go and trade even internationally. They'll be able to make stories and reach the international level for that case. But that cannot be done if we don't honor them. And that's why for every effort that's done, every year we want to make it a calendar. We need to have a round table. We count our blessings one by one and learn from each other. And that's why we want to make it as a calendar. Every year will only end the year if we honor excellence and encourage each other to do enterprise development. And this is done through the upcoming awards. And we'll be closing with an award, and we will be opening with an investment conference. So these are two events that will usher in one, but also close in one, but usher in a new one in the coming year. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Anna, and thank you for taking time to answer our questions. Thank you to our audience, to everyone who's joined us today as we listened to Dr. Anna, the Chief Officer from the Department of Commerce, Tourism and Cooperative, answering questions, especially on markets, the questions you've been raising on business licenses, on e-commerce. And he has mentioned two key events that are happening. So we have the awards that are happening on November 21st. And next year in February, we invite you for the investment conference as well. Thank you to our audience. And Lumwamu, asante sana, we have seen your comments, and to everyone who's joined us today. Special appreciation to the Department of Communications crew behind the scenes. Join us next week, again, as usual, from 9 a.m. to 12 for Feedback Friday with me, Shamim Hussein. Next week, we'll be speaking to an expert on climate change. Until next time, tuonane Friday.
It's done?